NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying is officially concluded from the Chicago Street Course, and Shane Gisbergen has won his first Xfinity Series pole of 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying is officially done from the Chicago Street Course, and Shane Gisbergen has won his first Xfinity Series pole of 2025. I also believe this is either his third or fourth career NASCAR Xfinity Series pole as well at this racetrack. And this is another time where Shane Gisbergen is the fastest car at a road course. Shane Gisbergen was really dominant, especially in qualifying. Austin Hill was really close to him. Austin Hill was only off by about 0.3 of a second. But outside of that, the third fastest car, which was Sam Mayer, was over almost 0.8 of a second behind in qualifying. Every time it comes to Chicago Street Course and Shane Gisbergen's in the field, you know he's going to be the obvious favorite to go and pick up the win. And yes, Connor Zilisch did have some trouble in practice, and I think Connor Zilisch is going to give Shane Gisbergen a run for the money in the NASCAR Xfinity race because he was really good. He was actually faster than Shane Gisbergen for a lot of that practice session, but eventually Shane Gisbergen moved up to the top of the charts and was able to get the pole here and did it in really good fashion. I picked him coming this weekend to pick up the victory because we know that SVG is going to be very good at this racetrack, especially with how dominant he was in Mexico City in the NASCAR Cup race and how strong he was in the Xfinity Series race here, picking up the win, having a really incredible duel with Kyle Larson in that event last year, putting on an incredible show. But I think SVG will have some competition. It's going to be starting a little bit farther back in the field, but I think SVG is the obvious favor going in, and to win another pole, not shocking and surprising in that number 9 Junior Motorsports car, that nice looking WeatherTech and Red Bull car. I think that he will have a really great chance and strong opportunity to win the race later today. Congratulations to him on winning his first Xfinity Series pole of 2025. Again, he'll be trying to sweep this week, and he looks to win the Xfinity Series race later this afternoon. He looks to win the Cup pole here in just a short little bit. We'll see if that happens, and then of course he will try to win the Xfinity race later today and try to win the Cup race tomorrow, try to have his first ever sweep. I think he's got a really good chance to do that with how good he's been in the Cup Series at this track. He had a really good chance to win last year before he unfortunately got taken out by Chase Briscoe in the event, but nonetheless, congratulations to Shane Gisbergen on winning the pole for the Xfinity Series race here at the Chicago Street Course. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the top starters and talk about some of the notable starters in this event as well. So Shane Gisbergen wins the pole. Austin Hill qualifies on the front row in second. We could see a repeat of Sonoma where maybe Shane is doing a burnout in front of Austin Hill. But Austin Hill's a pretty good road racer starting up in the front. He qualifies generally really well at this track. So not shocking and surprising. Hill starts second. Good job for Austin Hill. Sam Mayer qualified third. Not surprised by this either. Sam Mayer is a really good road course racer. Qualified very well at these types of tracks. He's got like 3 or 4 career wins and the Xfinity Series at these types of tracks. He'll start third. Good job by Sam Mayer. And Sheldon Creed qualified fourth. He spun out during practice earlier today and comes in and starts inside the top 5 in 4th place. I think Creed will have a car that's really good in the race today. He'll be starting 4th, qualified almost a second behind him, though. Really impressive for Creed to start 4th. And Jack Perkins qualified 5th. You know, when it was announced that Jack Perkins was going to be in this field, I thought Jack was going to have maybe a chance for a top 10 or maybe a top 15. But I think he's got a top 5 car. That 19 car was really good in practice especially. And he looks like someone who's never done this before. He looks really good out there. I would not be surprised if he's up there contending for the win at the end of the day. Great job from Jack Perkins. He'll start in 5th. Justin Allgaier qualified 6th. Good job from the driver of the number 7 car. Allgaier generally is a pretty good road racer, so he'll start inside the top 10. William Walsh qualified 7th. Really impressive Walsh, especially in the road courses this year. Say what you want to say about Walsh, and I've been critical of him in the past, but good job for Walsh. Start inside the top 10 in 7th place. He's been having some good runs as of late when it comes to speed, but he needs to turn his season around. Good job for him. He'll start 7th. Nick Sanchez qualified 8th. The guy won the Xfinity Series race last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Nick has been pretty good this weekend, has some pretty good speed in practice. He'll start inside the top 10. Jesse Love qualified 9th. Good job for him. And Sammy Smith qualified 10th. Sammy Smith had a little bit of tempers against Chris Wright. Chris Wright unfortunately impeded his lap a little bit. Sammy Smith probably would have qualified a little bit closer where Jack Perkins and Justin Allgaier would have been, but still not a bad lap for Sammy. He'll start 10th. Brandon Jones qualified 11th. Not a bad job for him. Preston Pardus qualified 12th. For a car that needed to qualify in on owner's points going into this race, great job for the driver of the number 50 car. He'll start 12th. Carson Quavel qualified 13th, the worst of the junior motorsports cars. A little bit off in practice and a little bit off in qualifying today, but I do think he's got a pretty decent car. He'll start inside the top 15. Alex Abay qualified 14th, not bad for him. Harrison Burton qualified 15th. Want to give Harrison a shout out because Harrison's not been that strong at road courses when you go back to time in the Cup Series. And when you also look at the AM Racing team, I know they got a top 5 Brett Moffitt a couple of years ago in 2023, but generally their road course progress has not been that great. So to qualify inside the top 15 for Harrison Burton, really good job for him. He's got a decent starting position. Connor Mosack qualified 16th, the most speed we've seen out of the SS Greenlight Racing car most of the year so far, outside of the 07 car, of course. Connor's shown some pretty good speed in practice. He'll start in the top 20. Austin Green qualified 17th, not surprised. Austin's really good at these types of tracks. Matt DiBenedetto qualified 18th. Jeremy Clements qualified 19th. And Thomas Annunziata, who was on a heater, probably would have started top 15. He'll start in 20th. Daniel Dye will start 21st. Brendan Poole qualified 22nd. 23rd for Blaine Perkins. 24th for Parker Reslov. Good to see Parker Reslov actually have a really good qualifying run. This Ford team has been struggling as of recently, so good to see him have some good speed and qualifying for their standards. Josh Bligley qualified 25th. Brad Perez qualified 26th. Josh Williams qualified 27th. Anthony Alfredo will start back in 28th. Andre Castro qualified 29th. Kaz Grall a little disappointed with the speed of the driver, the number 24. He'll start a little bit farther back in 30th place. Judd Byrne will start 31st. Ryan Ellis qualified 32nd. Dean Thompson qualified 33rd. Struggled in qualifying and practice this week. Kyle C qualified 34th. Connor Zilisch qualified 35th. Connor Zilisch, like I mentioned, had the fastest car in practice and one of the strongest cars in the field. And I think he will be up there going up against Shane Van Gisbergen for the win. Made a mistake, bending into the tire barriers, just a little bit overcooked it. Something with the brake bias or something on the car where he unfortunately hit the wall. He'll be a factor in the race, so I think Connor will not be out of contention. It's got to be a little patient and move your way for the field. I know it's a shorter race, but I think we'll have a really, really good car. Taylor Gray qualified in 36th, Ryan Sieg 37th, Christian Eckes 38th, Chris Wright 39th, and I believe 40th place for Sage Karam. Just realized this too. Chris Wright and Sage Karam both will be going home. Sage Karam had an oil issue. That car was really fast in practice, had top 10, top 15 speed. So tough break for Sage. I think Sage could have been a factor for top 10 or top 15 today, but nothing to show for it. And Chris Wright, who was the one that impeded Sammy Smith, Chris Wright has just been atrocious this season. I'd like to see someone else that's better to get better in that car. Hey, Our Motorsports, you want to call Brett Moffitt up again? I would definitely think you would like to call him up because he do a better job in that car than Chris Wright's doing at this point. I guarantee it. Because that car last year, if Anthony was contending for a playoff spot, we haven't seen anything from Chris Wright so far this year in that car. So now, that's all through the people that qualified. Let's talk about who are the favorites going into this race. I think there's 2 or 3 odds-on favorites going in. I think it's Shane Van Gisbergen versus Connor Zilisch. I get Connor Zilisch is going to have a lot of work to do to get up to the front, but I think that 88 car will have the pace and speed. They're not going to a backup car either, so they're going to have a car that's really, really good. But Shane Van Gisbergen, the 19, they've nailed it this weekend. They've been really, really strong. If Shane is able to win this race later today, it'll be the first time the number 9 car has won in quite some time. I think since like 2023 or 22, if I'm not mistaken, when Noah Gragson drove the car for the team. So we'll see if that 9 can go to victory. But I think it's between Zilisch and SVG for the win. And I'll throw also Sam Mayer in there. I'll throw Jack Perkins in there as well. All those guys look really good in practice earlier today and all look really strong in the qualifying session as well. Going to be some treacherous track conditions, and I think going to be some wild conditions during the race later today. So, that is going to be it for reactions to NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying from the Chicago Street Course. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. What thoughts on NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying from today? Let me your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Shane Van Gisbergen on winning the poll. Let me your thoughts in the comments below. In a couple hours from now, we're going to see reactions to the NASCAR Cup Series qualifying session from Chicago, and you're also going to see the Xfinity Series race review as well from Chicago. Then tomorrow on the channel, we are going to have the starting lineup video for the Grand Park 165. We're going to have the Cup race review, depending on what happens if who goes to victory lane. And then, of course, on Monday, we should have multiple NASCAR news videos dropping, as there's been a lot of news dropping over the course of the last couple days. We're going to talk about some Dodge stuff, GMS Racing, maybe Suarez of Junior Motorsports in the future, perhaps. We'll talk about other things like Haley Deegan, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Ryan Preece, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Connor Zilisch, Junior Motorsports, Clay Zafarone, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, all the good stuff. We'll be talking about all that good stuff on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content, other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.